Hello. We're going to talk about the Promel Collective's video game, Band Collective Shout. I'm here with the creator of the game, Biphomet, as well as a guest, Override.
Hello
So,
there.
yes,
Nice to meet you.
hello. The game is a political satire game against Collective Shout. You star a gang of video game characters we featured in our memes. The goal is to take down Collective Shout HQ.
Yeah, I mean the whole idea of the game is like really meta, like video game characters from
Yes,
different franchise like putting together to
yes.
take down this this real life uh,
Real life organization, Collective Shout. They're
yeah.
feminists in Australia who have ties internationally with Visa, MasterCard. They pressure organizations in America even to get porn and entertainment for men censored.
Yeah, and they have succeeded like passing laws all around the world, and they are spreading all over. Like it started with few countries, right, in few territories, and
Yes.
slowly, in a span of a year, I think they spread all around, like to
They
Europe, in several countries in Europe.
they got a major breakthrough last year with pressuring payment processors to to stop payment processing of porn games, fictional hard porn games. They went after the rape themed games, but that but that's of course we know they don't go after romance novels for women, which are also just full of rape. We
Yeah,
know
like
women's reading material just full of rape and full of non-consensual sex. It barely exists in any entertainment for men.
yeah, like rape is a really common kink among women.
Yes,
Like, it's not like a really mind. They can do whatever, but it's really hypocritical that they want to censor what guys consume, which is way less uh, way less problematic, let's say, than what women consume.
yes. They the stuff that Collective Shout goes after and feminists in general, they go after vanilla porn that men enjoy. They call it objectification. They make lies that it's part of sex trafficking, violating the consent of women.
Yeah,
Yes,
you know this kind of I don't like saying puritanical because that's not
yes,
the real objective of them, but uh, like in far right dictatorships, this kind of censorship is what usually happens. Like with Franco here in Spain, he will like go out of his way to censor even works of art just for showing female nudity.
Is Franco a woman worshipper? It's just
Yeah, he
curious.
was.
Yes, because that's the motivation for all these, all of this outlawing of sex and nudity. Is to stop
Yeah,
titillation for men, and
yeah, exactly.
and it's the women who push for this censorship. So the right
Yeah,
wing censorship bears very little distinction from feminist censorship.
yeah. I mean, and it's not a coincidence that this kind of dictatorships also like have like male military service, like mandatory service, and then have this kind of censorship. It's like they want to control men, and it's also not a coincidence that women go through the same process. Like controlling men's sexuality and all that stuff.
Yes, so that is the thing. Uh, so men's entertainment, men's sexual titillation gets censored, but then men also get controlled by the state. They get funneled into the military and conscripted. They're they're sacrificed by all these institutions like the family court, biased child, biased family laws that just strip men away from their kids.
Yeah, that they're giving them no options at all. Like
Yes,
you cannot have fun in your free time. You have to slave to a woman,
yes,
and you don't even get to enjoy the company of your kids. The kids are not even yours. You're just your the man working for the woman who owns them.
but especially the theft of men's finances, like men's wages. Men are actually
Yeah,
driven to suicide by the system because they, if not jailed,
yeah. I mean, like women have all these safety nets
yes,
financially, but all the men can do is pray to have a job and make it to the end of the month and pay the bills.
yes, it's
And,
like
and
men,
there are a lot of ways a man can get in debt and have no help at all.
yeah, no homeless shelter programs, no financial programs for men. They all go to women. But
Yeah, and women will take the streets and protest if they announce a men's shelter. That's
That's true.
happened quite a bunch of times already in
Yeah, I
recent
mean,
years.
on that note, they did one. They had a protest recently in March this year in New York. They tried to open a shelter for men, and they claimed that it was a danger to kids.
just
Because yeah.
Yeah, they always use kids to.
Mm,
I mean, this whole law, this whole collective shell thing, they also use the kids as an excuse.
yes.
yes,
But
they
yeah,
protest to take down advertisement posters to raise awareness for domestic violence against men. So they
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
all
It's like they don't lose anything by promoting
no,
like
they
yeah,
protesting to take stuff away from men.
yeah. That's
That's
how
it.
much they feel offended that men get rights. Really.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not saying this to be off topic. We're saying this because the legal assault on men is linked to the censorship that we see in video games and pornography and all of our media and entertainment.
Yeah, that's why it's important that we chose this media like it's a game itself. It's a we are fighting gaming censorship with games.
Yes,
I think that's the whole point,
yes.
the meta message.
So, this game is free to download on itch.io. You can go and play it. It's a JRPG type game. So,
Yeah.
I personally played through it and streamed it. So,
It's a rather simple RPG Maker game.
yeah,
I try to add some stuff, to make it more interesting. Like
yeah,
each character
it's
has
got
their
some nice
own.
flavor to it. Yes, like the character
Yeah,
abilities. I don't think it's a particularly challenging game, but it was funny to see other members, like other members in the Promel Collective, like Raffle Hornet. I don't think he's ever played a JRPG before, and he was
yeah,
having trouble
yeah,
defeating the basic baddies.
yeah. In any case, that was the whole point of the game design, because the game invites you to go straight to the
Yes,
main final dungeon to of some sort.
yes,
and you will find it's not easy at all. That
No.
you are not prepared, and you will most likely like lose.
Yes.
And that's kind of the message of the game, that if you want to go against people that is negating your rights, you if you're going to go after them, you have to prepare first. You have to level up. That's
Yes.
that's the whole message behind the.
I just took that as standard JRPG level of progression. Like you're kind of free to explore, to go to the final dungeon, but you're too low level. That's pretty
Yeah.
typical.
Yeah, that's why I think that was the right choice.
Yes.
I mean, not every RPG is like that, because most JRPGs like force you to go through a very linear quest line.
Yes.
But in this case, yeah, you have the freedom to go straight to the end.
Yes. So this, yeah.
No, yeah, you
finish?
go ahead.
No, do you want to
you go
finish?
ahead.
All right, I'll go
No,
ahead.
no.
Yeah, the game isn't very long, so it's got funny commentary on the. It's got commentary on women's consumer power. They control the spending, and it's got commentary on the Mad Max Fury Road theme.
Yeah.
Film. Like
Yeah, I took the liberty to add that this desert part, because Collective Shell they're based on Australia, so and Mad Max was like originally from Australia.
Yes.
And I made the association. I said, wait, I could like add some commentary on that, on how they destroyed that franchise as well.
It's very fitting. Then a ruined feminized IP from Australia mixed with a organization from Australia that has ties to these payment processors and organizations across the world.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it's like the proto feminist censorship. This 2016, when all these movies started to get like feminist, all these male IPs.
Yeah, I don't think it was proto censorship back then, though. It was just feminist censorship. Because 2016, you gotta remember, that was the start of feminists going after movies. Like, they made the all-female Ghostbusters and just completely tanked that franchise.
Oh yeah, that was shit. But with Mad Max Fury Road, it was more subtle, because the movie had quality, had really good action and all the stuff.
Yeah,
and all the feminist stuff showing in it will fly over most of the people that watch it. But if you watch it now, you realize how harmful it is, how disrespectful it is for the franchise, and how on your nose the feminist propaganda is.
Furiosa was the main character in Fury Road. It was so obvious. And the action in that film, it was just rehashing the final scene of Mad Max 2, the final truck chase. I was just stretched out to the whole movie.
Yeah, it was had no originality.
It was very derivative, even at best. Yeah. And it was just, and it's obvious it was just a feminist replacement of Mad Max.
Yeah, but I remember at the time most people looked past that, even myself, just because of the good action and whatever. But I remember there were many people protesting about how Mad Max wasn't even the protagonist there. Like, why is this movie called Mad Max if he's doing nothing? He's just there, like he's a secondary character to his whole movie.
Yes. He was just helpless the entire movie.
Yeah.
Just chained up.
And they even destroyed his iconic car. unceremoniously. Like
Yeah.
it just blows up at the beginning of the movie for no reason. And I make a note to that in this game. Like I show the wrecked Mad Max car in the desert area,
Yeah. So
because that's yeah.
yeah. So what I gotta say about this game. Let's get back to the game. I played all the way to the end, and there's a scene of the main characters talking, and I think it really hits home to why this game is important. The scene is about the game is that you're these group of characters about to take down Collective Shouts HQ, but the message is that defeating feminism is going to take more than just one battle.
Yeah.
Yes, like you can't just defeat feminism and call it a day. Like it's not like an action game like this. It's got an important message.
I
And
mean, this is a thing like I learned like rather recently about politics, and it's just if you're going to get into activism, or you want to push your political ideas and make them, make them have an impact in real life. It's not like you just do one thing, you just talk about it and that's it. No,
yes,
it's like a collective effort. It takes time.
this is
It's like
a continuous war we're in.
yeah,
An
exactly.
ideological war and a war on men's freedoms the feminism has waged.
Yeah, and you have to take in mind that this is like a long-term thing. It will take a long before you see like tangible results. Even though we have, our group has had like little victories in
Yes.
few years. But if you want to see like real change, you have to stay there and work every day
Yes.
and be prepared to have that little discipline.
Yes.
It's not like you have to waste all your mental energy on that. It's not like you have to overwork or whatever, but just do little by little, day by day. It's like workout.
Yes, you gotta be mentally prepared for defeats as well, because as
Yeah,
we in the ProMail Collective, we've had multiple setbacks. We got various groups. The feminists have managed to take from us. They managed to get. They managed to get our reporting group against the Pink Pill Feminists banned because we were reporting on their hate speech on social media. They decided to report on us.
but we have gotten them banned too. So
yes, we got many of them banned in return.
The thing is not giving up, despite all of that. Is just keeping. You just keep moving forward despite like all those roadblocks.
Yes. Despite setbacks, despite feeling like things may get lost.
Yeah.
So this is actually the most important thing about this game to me. It's the political message it delivers to you, not simply the JRPG combat, which I think is pretty standard fare. It's not the
I didn't want to complicate it too much.
Yes.
Because most of the things you see in the game is like default RPG Maker stuff, all the combat system, and I even added some mechanics that aren't there by default just to make it interesting.
Yeah. So you even had Mr. Pink and Yellow helping direct the game for you. He even directed. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was about to say that it wouldn't be fair to say I'm the developer of the game because more people work in here, including you.
I did a little help with the sprite art.
Yeah,
But
you
it
do.
was, yeah. I was only an assistant artist, not a
Yeah,
major one.
yeah, but it was helpful. When you work in a game, like I made games before, and people have given me help
Yeah,
with no, maybe not the main development or the game design or the level design or the art, but they have made music for me, and I'm so grateful because when I replay the game and see the things people have made for me, the content they made for me in the game, I
yeah,
enjoy it, and I say it wouldn't be the same without the help they gave
yeah.
to me in here. Uh, uh, quick a
Yes,
quick thing I wanted to add when you were talking about activism and the time it takes and the effort, like even Collective Shout themselves. I heard Mr. Picangelo, like he was breaking down, investigating their website and stuff,
yeah.
and they were working for like 15 years ago, and they were even relevant back then,
Oh,
and
yes.
it's now that they are getting laws pushed and changing the laws
So
against rights.
I remember there was some.
So,
Sorry, I'll let you finish. Sorry.
so even a feminist group like this, that usually they have like advantage head start because they are feminists, obviously. Even then, they have to put the time and the effort
Yeah.
to have like the political ideas to
Yes.
materialize in the real law in the real
That's a
world.
good point. Because
Yeah,
feminism is a project that women have been working on for decades. And look how much power they have. Men have not started their on work on their own men's rights project to actually start
yeah.
getting successes. And we still face resistance from all other men and other men's groups when we push for pro male political activism.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because men themselves know if they start talking about their rights, they're going to be like seen as lesser, or they're going to get pushback, and they are afraid of it.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, even the pushback against Collective Shout, they will not acknowledge that they are feminists. A lot of them will say they're Christian conservatives, they're
Oh,
Puritans, yeah, they're
yeah. Remember that furry I was commenting that other time that he got his own game censor,
yes.
his own visual novel, and he was claiming that Collective Shout were like conservative, that they weren't feminine, they weren't true feminists or whatever.
What?
They were
Yes.
the true Scotsman, because they were against abortion or some shit like that.
And as it shows what losers men are because they submit to the feminist movement that takes away their rights and their expression.
Yeah,
Yes.
either that or they don't play it. They are like, oh, there's some, a bunch of crazy women.
They're not
They
crazy. They're just
Yeah,
they're very
and they're not
intentional.
harmless
Yeah.
neither. Like
No.
they play it off as if they were just screaming to the void when they are not.
You know,
That they are active.
if feminists can get one-sided gender domestic violence laws passed in all the countries where women can be as violent to men as they want without legal repercussion, they're not harmless. Feminists are not
Yeah,
harmless.
yeah. Yeah, they don't play. They say stuff like those things wouldn't like last or make out, or they will self correct. And we know it's not the case. Like take there was a law passed a long time ago here in Spain about gender violence. Like a woman can just they just can call the police on a man claiming she was abused, and you will go to jail automatically
Yes.
with no proof whatsoever. And that law was passed by on 2005. Not yeah, it was a long ago, and it hasn't gone away.
Yes.
And even the president that passed that law has been found turned out to be a corrupt politician making money with fake companies,
Right.
and no one is protesting about that law. No one is doing anything about it.
Yeah. So, a lot of men who like their culture and their geek stuff, they don't like the censorship. They don't link this back to feminists. They don't even recognize that the censorship from feminists is part of a wider pattern of feminist legal attack on men.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they don't even want to acknowledge the thing that this game is pointing out, like the whole feminist infiltration in media aimed for men.
yes. You even have a whole subreddit called Fuck Collective Shout, and that they deny the collective shout of feminists, and that they themselves are feminists.
Yeah.
They want to deny collective shout of feminists so that they can take the flack for all the censorships that's being caused off of feminists.
That's the thing with men, that they are afraid to make a woman look bad.
And I'll tell you something. We were communicating with the people at Fuck Collective Shout. They were just sending insults at us. They were sending abusive direct messages at us. And that's why we made our own subreddit called Ban Collective Shout. It just tells the honest truth about how Collective Shout are feminists, how Sweet Baby Inc. are feminists, how they're all tied together. Like with the whole internet doxing laws and the payment processor censorship and the feminist desexualizing of men's favorite franchises. It's all linked. It's all feminists working together.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, women will unite, even if you take two women that hate each other, that are enemies to each other, they will unite if that means harming men. And men don't understand that. Like, they don't get the level of coordination feminists have.
Yes, so I think the most important thing this game has is the political message. So
yeah,
this
exactly.
actually runs against the common wisdom, the so-called wisdom of all the anti-censorship guys, that they want us to just say keep politics out of video games. And I remember Gamergate was like that too. They would just want to say gaming journalism was corrupt. We just want ethics in game journalism. When no, the gaming journalism was feminist. It was
it was too late already. Like the battle was lost, and they were picking a battle that they are already lost.
And now today in 2026, with Mixtape, when it came out, all the reviewers, whether it be those that spoke for the people or establishment like IGN, they gave it 10 upon 10 basically. So much for ethics and game journalism.
Yeah,
it's been 10 years.
That wasn't even barely a game. Like
it wasn't a game. It doesn't count.
It was an interactive movie at best.
And you can't play the game. You like this game that you made. I can't complete it. If I just leave my keyboard or my controller on the desk. That
Yeah,
game, you can.
it doesn't even have fail states. It's like, what you calling this a game? And turns out the director of that game was like some rich woman that had no experience with video games.
Yeah,
And just
she was like from the movie industry, and then her dad is what was his name? Literally like the owner of Oracle.
yeah, she just
Yeah.
like hired a bunch of guys to make
What
that
game
bad
is
excuse of a
this?
game.
Sorry, what game is this again?
Mixtape.
Mixed,
Mixtape.
yeah,
It's unfair to call it a game, but yeah.
Okay, so yeah, quote, feminist garbage. Are
yeah,
you both familiar with Depression Quest? This is going back again as well.
Yeah, I do believe. Yeah,
That was like
yeah.
that was an early example of feminist slop getting endorsement from the gaming journalism.
oh yeah, I remember
It was
that.
by Zoe Quinn, the
Yes.
one who did what she
Yes.
did.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was disgusting, man. No,
yes, that was the early sign that the gaming media just got taken over by feminists.
And Alec Coloca actually helped her make this, from what I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then he
Yeah.
got accused by her and then committed suicide. Right?
Yeah.
Like men lose to feminist women. They just get so defeated,
yeah.
and they
That's
don't
why
even. Yeah.
I mean, that's why I had these NPCs in that part you're showing right now. Like,
Yeah.
they're male slaves, and they're
Yeah.
just like making excuses for feminists and just accepting their role
Yes.
and fighting you, of course,
Yes.
for trying to.
They just want to come and fight you instead when you want to liberate men from feminism.
Yeah.
It's like so. This is this gaming is. Sorry, I'm messing up my words. This game is an example of pro-male art, and it gives us a
Yeah.
taste of what we need. This is politics in gaming, but it's not feminist politics. It's pro-male men's politics in gaming. It's the kind of politics in gaming that men actually need.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we already have like a lot of misandry in gaming. That you have the obviously feminist influence and feminist messaging infiltrating video games, but before that, you also have like all these anti-male tropes. Even if you take out feminists,
Yes.
you have to do something to counter that, and that's why I'm looking forward to make more games like this.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
Yeah, in what part? Because I love making games. That's something I always wanted to do. But also is that like we have to make a difference, and this is
I look forward
right
to
now
yes.
now it's a good time to do that because we have a lot of tools. Even people with
Yes,
no programming
very true.
skills, with
Yeah.
with people with no programming skills such as myself can make games. So that's a blessing.
Yes.
So yeah, we can start with.
Like
We have something to start with.
This was made in RPG Maker, so it's really accessible, more accessible than it was possible before.
Yeah,
So
it's a really easy tool, and you can even like make some reverse engineering with the engine. It's very limited, of course, but you can do stuff that goes beyond the just the default thing the RPG Maker gives you.
yes.
Like if you tweak it enough, you can even make a platformer or stuff like that.
Yes. So
I try to learn Unity anyway, just to have more freedom to make games. So I hope that the next project I make is more like a bit more evolved from this.
Yeah, I personally have been using Unreal Engine, but if there's anything that I could ever help, like with maybe conceptual, like game logic stuff, I might be able to help you out a little bit here and there, even though I don't use Unity. I think I could even, find some other help as well. I know some people. So yeah,
Yeah.
could always try.
Yeah.
It's always good to just have more pro-mel artists, doing pro-mel art. So
Yes.
I did my own pro-mel little animation of a furry character that I still got to develop. There's someone else who's a story writer who wrote a pro-mel story. I've still got to finish reading that. It's like
I have little experience with writing.
yeah.
I mean, I used to have like these courses with a successful writer from my town, and he gave like really good advices, on how to write a novel or story. And there were actually good advices because I read his books and they're truly good. He wasn't not some charlatan or something like that.
Yes.
Like he was sharing his experience as a writer.
Yes. So here I am defeating Furiosa.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I think you're OP here. Yeah.
do we have anything more to say about the game? I think we can look at the article once I defeated Furiosa.
I just
Well,
want to say I personally I look forward to you making more sequels or versions. This is one of the few games I'm very happy to see sequels for, right? So
Well,
yeah.
we'll have to see how that works out because
Like yeah, for example, if you made this like multiplayer or something, little PvP games or simple things like that, it could really
like
it would be
we
cool.
need a multiplayer mob stomping game. Like
Yeah, I'd love to help.
yes.
Yeah.
yeah, just a quick thing I wanted to add to the game. Kind of related is that I added like a lot of Easter eggs and nods to other classic games, like the sprite of Duke Nukem. The design is from Duke Nukem 3D, but it has like the
It's got
sprites. Yeah, the sprites looks like the very first ones.
it was
that were
based on a cover from the first Duke Nukem games, wasn't it?
Yeah. The overall design is based on some art based on that cover, but also the in-game sprites. The one you see when he walks sideways. I took as reference the sprites from the very first. It was Duke Nukem 2, the one that was a platformer.
Yeah.
And I give notes just for the for the real fans there. Maybe someone will notice, I hope.
Right. So I think we're done here. So the game I just showed you, it's called Band Collective Shout. You can go find it on the itch.io page. It's free to download. So the description says, an evil organization is censoring video games. Only a group of gaming characters are willing to fight them back and stop them. You have what it takes to end censorship? You better do, because otherwise kiss your hobbies goodbye. And I'll just link that in the description. So let's go to this.
I hope everyone enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go to this blog post. We talk about culture capture here and why it's important. So, the upcoming Pro-Mail Collective game and why it is important. So, a PMC member, that's you, Baphomet, is working very hard on this game. There is one aspect that is largely missing from the men's rights movement, and that is the cultural one. Most of the MRA discourse is either based on statistics and studies or philosophy. And while these are important, it is not enough. Feminism is based on full spectrum economic, social, cultural dominance. Feminism is the background noise of modern Western civilization, the common sense truth accepted by those in power. Feminism is seen as conventional wisdom that is blasphemy to question. It is absolutely right. So it is not a coincidence that feminism has gained so much power while the movement has been conducting an attack on the cultural centers of power in the West. The men's rights movement needs to become the background noise, the common sense accepted truth in the West. We need to fight in the cultural sphere, and I'm not talking about the culture war, whatever that term means. We need to make entertainment and put pro-male ideas in it. Yeah, because, culture war, it's a term that we see the right wing use. This is bring back traditionalism.
Yeah, that sounds really outdated already. It feels like they've been talking like that back from 2015, I think.
They've been talking like that since Gamergate started. It's got them nowhere. Because they don't acknowledge that the problem is just feminists attacking men, and that they themselves are feminists. They enable the feminists to get in power.
It's embarrassing when they use that term, because if there is a culture war, they keep losing and losing every time.
Yes.
And when they talk about traditionalism, it's born out of ignorance anyway. If you ask them, they don't have a year to point to. If they do, it's something, it can be psychotic, like saying back in the days men used to fight in war, stuff like that. And that's really unhelpful.
That's how they are selling it, the idea, Yeah. That's how they're supposed to convince everyone that tradition.
Yeah, like their solution to fighting against feminist propaganda is to go back to the good times when there was feminist military propaganda, which was this foreign country oppresses their women, and fighting them with guns is really sexy. That's bombing. And then you have things like Call of Duty and stuff like that. Yeah.
So you have the old World War I propaganda posters that say "Kill this mad brute." As the men of the other country portrayed as an ape holding a woman in hostage. It's very misandrous, dehumanizing. So
I think they used that to a cover to a book I'm reading on men's rights.
Yeah.
It's called The Humanizing the Male. I really recommend it because it goes point by point on every time on history that men's rights have been violated and stuff.
Yeah, it's very weird that traditionalists want to go back to a time when loads of men die so they can serve women. But their problem now is that we live in a feminist society where loads of men die or lose their status in the service of women. If any culture wars needs to happen, it needs to come from us. We're waging a culture war on the
we have the only
female and not to mention that in basically every conflict war it wasn't followed by some flourishing of the family unit. It had the opposite effect. Even in the 1920s in Vienna, when it was post World War I, they had similar issues. Germany had similar issues. Families were breaking down. So it's just nonsense. They literally just think in terms of sperm cell. Less man good.
Don't care about family. That Tradcons claim that they're not really traditionalist because they are pro nuclear family. But that's not the traditional family, really. The traditional family is extended, of the family members and even friends taking care of each other.
Yes.
And even in that context, they would never navigate like, okay, so were men like happy in that scenario anyway? They just, it's just a they're just running away in that sense, you know. They just want to turn back time and think, you know, because they're ignorant about the past,
It's,
they think was better.
it's not like they are nostalgic of the past or anything. They just want
Yeah,
a chance to kill other men or compete to other men that they don't have now, because men now have less access to jobs. It's
like-
more difficult for men to compete or whatever, and they want that chance to compete. You know, they're that desperate. It's not like they're traditionalists or they care about the family. They just want their chance to get the girl, to get the status.
yeah, exactly. And ironically, like back in like World War One, they had that opportunity, right, to kill other men from other countries, and they came back and the women took their jobs.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like right wingers just want this vague sense that they're winning, that they're the winners, and they can't really describe it or explain it. It's like, because it's just so clear that they don't have a real ideology or point of reference to go to that they advocate for.
Yeah.
So
correct.
Let's carry on reading. Society reinforces its cultural values in all different forms of entertainment. For example, American militarism is normalized and reinforced via action movies and video games like Call of Duty that is in fact funded by the military-industrial complex. There is a reason why hegemonic groups that rule society use propaganda in entertainment to promote their values, because it is highly effective. Yes, and this is right. Feminism is a hegemonic political group. Feminism is in fact the most powerful political movement in the world, the most powerful political movement to ever exist. Its political power stems from its cultural power. Feminist culture power was very strong before the current wave of feminist takeover of the entertainment sector started. Lots of people learn their ideas from entertainment. That is just the way a lot of people are. For example, when I was a kid, I used to think the Russians were evil, simply because of all the movies I watched. The propaganda movies I saw as a kid, like Rocky IV and Rambo 2, did have an effect on me. It wasn't until I was older that I questioned them, and saw them as the bullshit propaganda they truly were. Also, lots of people get sucked into their propaganda narratives and never learn to question them.
That's very true. Like,
And it, yes.
Don't underestimate how many adult people can think things in movies are true. Like, they might think things you see in action movies might be like possible in real life.
Or not even, doesn't even have to be about like the physical like replicability of something. They could see something that's cast. They won't question something being cast in a good light. So, for example, like the movie 300, you know, it fetishizes Sparta. But
That movie is very funny, unintentionally funny, because Leonidas is like accusing the Athenians of being boy lovers. And I'm like, really? Like, Spartans were like literally pederasts.
There was slave state, yes.
Yeah, they were after boys only. Like, women were untouchable.
So, yeah, the boys were cannon fodder. They were just sent into the Go system at an early age, and they were sex slaves.
Yeah,
so they
were slaves in all the ways a slave can be. Like,
yes,
sex slave, labor slave, war slave.
Like, Sparta deserved to die. It died for a reason. Like it.
Yeah, if karma exists, that's one example. Yeah,
and the way Athens like ended them was also they made them surrender instead of killing them. It was a way to like, because Sparta's motto was, you know, I'd rather die on my shield, and in fact there were boys who were killed by their mothers in Sparta if they ever like
Yeah,
if they were
it was a
seen as
masterpiece.
cowards.
It was a
Yeah.
masterpiece, really.
Yeah, straight up, yeah.
Like people, yeah, and the entertainment just mythologize Sparta as this great virtuous city state. You know, people actually think of real like politics like it's a Call of Duty game. Like the America is the world protectors of democracy and peace, and there's these nefarious terrorist groups that are raining destruction on the other side of the globe, and you're there to stop them. When
Yeah.
we know, like
Yeah.
when we know from intelligent political analysis, it's America that's just causing most of the terrorism against the world and slaughtering millions.
Sometimes, even if you have a sarcastic game like Helldivers 2 or Helldivers that like mocks that, I swear a lot of people don't know they're making fun of that. You know,
I don't know.
They don't know.
I think the problem is
some know, but some are like.
The problem with Helldivers 2 is it makes the fascist state look cool.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work. If it's meant to be satire, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, but
another you mentioned Rambo 2. That movie was made because originally Rambo dies in the novel, and the original novel is based.
Yes.
And it was supposed to be this shell shocked, insane man, a veteran, Vietnam War veteran. But since Reagan wanted to make look United States cool because they lost against Vietnam, so they had to make this revenge fantasy in Rambo 2 that Rambo goes there and saves some prisoners of war that then never were really there.
Yes.
So they changed the narrative that they wanted to look like the heroes despite being the losers and the oppressors.
Like the Rocky movies made, the Rambo movies made him look like a victim. So the whole point was like he wanted adoration for touring in these U.S. wars to bomb millions.
So, they killed a lot of civilians in there, and they still had the nerve to paint themselves as victims.
So the book,
3 million in total, even.
The book was more accurate then, because it just portrayed the military vet as sort of irredeemable.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the movie. Like the novel has a whole different tone than the movie. In the end of the novel, like it's Colonel Trondman himself that puts down Rambo, and he shoots him in the head with a shotgun. Like, I would rather see that, honestly, because
it's kind of what we see with military vets today. They actually kind of celebrate their actions. Like that, like going to Iraq. Yes, going to Iraq where millions of Iraqis died, or they actually support Israel's bombing of Gaza, just slaughtering the Palestinians.
Yeah, it's funny because Rambo 3 like glorifies the Taliban, and and then the Taliban turn on the United States, so they were making propaganda for their enemies.
The US enables a lot of terrorism on the other side of the planet. It's like that's the thing. But no, I think what this sentence in the blog says is like, entertainment isn't just entertainment. Entertainment delivers the political ideas that we internalize. See, because it's entertainment, it's nothing. It's like it's another false idea from the free speech crowd and from the Gamergators. Because
it can shape culture. Yeah.
Yes. So we do need pro-male entertainment that shapes culture in our favor.
Yeah, exactly. We need our ideas to spread.
So, I think let's finish reading the rest of this. So, feminists take over of the entertainment industry has the same goal in mind. There is a lot of bad feminist propaganda out there, and it backfires. Also, feminism is a spite-based movement, and a lot of the time, they just want to destroy stuff men like. But a lot of feminist propaganda of the past was very successful. So, Silence of the Lambs is a good example of this. I remember seeing it as a good and feeling sorry for the underdog, Jodie Foster, victim of casual sexism in the FBI. There are lots of subtle feminist narratives in movies that most people accept, even anti-feminists. Yeah, because I think like most of the anti-feminist movement is just low intelligence.
Yeah, because they're too reactionary. They don't have a ground to stand on. Most people that go against feminists, they do it out of reaction, and they don't even think what they are fighting for really.
Yeah.
But we do. That's the difference.
Yeah. The Promel Collective needs to produce games, movies, comics, music, etc. We need to spread our memes and ideas in the culture. There are men and boys we need to reach that we can't reach otherwise. We need to spread uplifting narratives to validate males and demonize feminists. So normally the word demonize has negative connotation attached to it, but in this case it is apt, since feminists are demons. I mean, just look at their censorship and their political brutality they inflict on men, like we've just described. People who might be resistant to our ideas in the political sphere might be more receptive to them in other spaces. The current MRM is very sterile and one-dimensional. We need to be multifaceted. We need a holistic approach to our cultural, political struggle. Recently, Alex Caddo helped me make some anime memes. No, it's talking about me. And it got my Twitter account a lot of attention. They were not easy memes to make. Otherwise, I would not have got Caddo to make them. They looked pretty slick and high effort, so they attracted eyeballs to my social media. I got hostile replies, I got some support, and I got lots of fans to the replies who were not hostile but found the memes amusing. Every non-hostile person has potential memetic seed planted in them that could flourish in the future. Yes, this describes a problem with the men's rights movement, the way it's operating. Like, you go to a men's rights subreddit, it's just complaining about political matters. And I think a lot of people see it as old men yelling at clouds. They just see it as unattractive. And just,
yeah, exactly. Like, who's going to join a group that it's so uncool, you know? Like,
because you got to remember, like, the most successful political groups didn't just stay with politics. They went after everything. They went after culture. They went after arts. They went after entertainment. You know, when the Nazis took over Germany, they started doing censorship on art and paintings. What kind of art would be allowed? They put a lot of control on the culture and entertainment. And we see so do feminists.
Yeah, and the Nazis like make their own media too.
They made an institution called like the Exhibition of Degenerate Art, where they wanted to just ridicule and shame art from the opposition. Like
that's a very common tactic.
Yes,
I had like Mohammed kill all the artists that satirize him. Like,
very control freak behavior, but it's what got them. It's part of what makes them so dominant.
Yeah, that's true.
We need to spread our memes and plant our ideas as far as wide as possible. Just sticking to MRM blogs and spaces is not enough. We need to grow. There is a reason feminists want to shut us off from the mainstream internet, because they see us as a danger. We need to burst out of their online prison any way we can. We need to contest against their full spectrum dominance over us. Yeah, so this is a very valuable blog post.
Yeah.
It just tells us what the problem is. So, men's rights isn't growing. I think we're the only faction in the Pro Male Collective that is growing.
Yeah, and I think the PMC are the only one that has like a consistent set of values,
Yes.
because this most of this MRM, they will talk about men's rights, and they will like validate that all this like anti-male politics, all this like.
Yeah, like when they talk about immigrant men, like every few days, it's just I see like a recurring list now, but they'll say, notice how this group of foreigners are all men, military age men, and other dehumanizing phrases that all run off of the old archaic misandrist idea that young men are blood to be spilled, and it's not safe for them to be amongst regular people, so it's very dehumanizing language all the time.
And I said,
they're already on the wrong mindset,
And they're hypocrites. That's the biggest thing. So PMC as a group, there's another thing I just want to mention, because I think with this post we've mentioned one very big thing, which is spreading the ideas through, not just politics that's, more rote, more rigorous, and a little dry at times, right? But another thing I want to add is that PMC's ideology, the points, they're correct. That's why they even help inform me when I write my posts, because if I had the principles of some other men's rights groups, my analysis of history, for example, will completely fall apart very quickly. And it's precisely because our principles are correct that spreading that, those sets of principles, how it looks like in a conversation between people playing games together, or, in a game that they make, like Baphomet has made, or how they even critique or review video games. Showing that to the world is also in my eyes, very important. As PMC grows, different people have different interests. People even within anime, they like older anime, newer anime, and I think all these people are very valuable potentially if they would, as we say, spread our ideology outside through meaningful medium. So we could have people who review content, review media, as opposed to people like Synthetic Men or other right wingers who just talk about global homo or Jews, stuff like that. It would be so much more meaningful, and I honestly say that as someone who would be a viewer. I just want to reiterate, if anybody watching would make content like that, I do believe that you would get stronger viewership with time compared to these other spaces that are actually very stagnant and self-perpetuating. They just go on and on about the same thing, and it gets them nowhere. So,
feminists have been doing that for years. Like they've been doing like commentary on movies and all that stuff. I mean, look at Anita Sarkeesian, like.
Yeah, she's back too.
Yeah,
Mixtape got her inputs. I think she was part of it.
Yeah, she never really left, I think.
Yeah, she never left.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Zoe Quinn ever left. I don't think she ever left, but she should be in jail anyway. So,
yeah.
Why would the feminists ever leave? It's like they're rewarded for being where they are.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, So Queen and Anita Sarkeesian had a seat on the UN. Even though they don't, I mean, you can see how much they're willing to look past in that organization to let women talk there.
To be fair, the UN in and of itself was very, very, very misandrist. It's very feminist. So, yeah, it follows.
They've got feminists directing the UN to deny aid to men in earthquake-struck regions, or deny men evacuation where there's wars. That the UN actually leads to men dying for their feminist policies.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
and they also will give seats to child traffickers like Ghislaine Maxwell. Like you can see they don't even do like background checks.
Yes.
I am in. So I just want to add, like, I don't know if it's coming up in a later episode in this podcast, but for what it's worth, the UN has literally made indices that make it impossible, for example, for men's oppression to even be highlighted in their gender inequality indices that they've come up with over the few decades. This goes back as far as the 1990s, so probably earlier than that, to be honest. But yeah.
Like
So
the UN is so horrifically corrupt with feminism. How are we gonna actually like turn it around? If that's possible, it's just
I think one big thing, I wrote a post to try to encourage people in general is to point to knowing the players. Even though UN is one organization and they're global, they have reach everywhere, they have impacts on even South Korea that we talked about previously. The UN, the indices they pass, the laws they pass, all the guidelines they pass that discriminate against men are made by select people. And I think in general it's very helpful, in any topic that we talk about, to point out to various crucial actors who have made things worse for men, because it can actually help to shed light on an encouragement to see that this is still driven by people, and just as they push, we can push. There's no reason why you can't push better than them.
yes.
Yeah.
So, do we want to say anything further? So, we need the pro-male message to grow, the pro-male men's rights message, and just doing like political write-ups, political theses. Like, it's needed, but we need more. We need culture channels. We need cultural activists, artists, making games, making their own movies, making memes, writing stories, even doing video game streams, like just doing those video game let's plays.
Yeah. Yes. And
That's a good idea.
yeah, I just want to, given to maybe sort of, since we're coming to the end, I think that's crucial to have like a specific list. So as the PMC grows, we're going to have people with varying interests as opposed to just wanting to write. So for example, posts, some people just don't care to do that as much. I've had a talk with Hornet, for example, who loves movies, so I always thought, presumably you have a discerning eye. He loves cinematography. I'd love to watch him, make content about cinematography, why a movie is good or bad. I don't have a feeling for that beyond the messaging. But even beyond that, I'd love to have alternatives to right-wingers complaining about video games being controlled by Jews. So, I'd love that.
So, right-wing right-wing racists and anti-Semitists, they have such a control of the backlash to whatever feminism is doing, even though they don't directly call out feminism, because they get into the culture. They do movie reviews, they do gaming content. Like, we see Midnight's Edge doing all these like takes on crap movies from feminists, and then he just comes out supporting a completely racist movie, The Citizen Vigilante, and then supporting US military aggression on Venezuela. It's like the right gets into the backlash to whatever feminism is doing, and they just pollute it.
They even sorry, you go.
You speak.
All right. So on Synthetic Man, another reason why I've been mentioning him today is there are some instances, I swear, he reverses it in feminist favor very directly. One of them was so right wingers have this tendency on some level, they want to appeal to women. It's just how it is. So they end up saying, well, actually, what leftists are, they're so silly because, they want men and women to be equal, right? Why do they like showing video games where women get beat up? And he was saying that as if like it's bad if a video game has that.
Yeah.
When we've had decades of games actively avoiding touching a woman physically in any regard. If it is, that man is the spawn of Satan and he should be eviscerated, right? And he's enforcing that because they have no direction. It's just, on some level, if you watch a Synthetic Man video, you don't know what you're supposed to do anymore.
I mean, we need someone like Synthetic Man, but with the right values,
Yeah.
I like the way he talks. I like the way he analyzes the gameplay, because I pretty much agree with everything he says about games being just about fun. But he fucks up when he starts talking about feminism, and he's being basically an anti-Semitism.
Yeah, and he talks. He reduces conflicts to left and right wing politics as well, which is just going nowhere.
It's red herring. It's just distraction from feminism. They're causing. It's feminism directing DEI and all these like initiatives to make ugly female characters replace even male heroes and any attractive female characters.
Yeah, he will say, people like he will say, like, it's to appeal to modern audiences.
Because there is no modern audience.
Yeah, nobody likes that. Even women themselves want good-looking women characters in the games. So.
Again,
even he will say that later. Like, I watched the video today. He said it appeals to a modern audience, and then halfway through the video, he says, well, even women actually want pretty characters, so which is it?
The thing is, it's an attack on men. We shouldn't even be making a point that even women like looking at pretty females.
Exactly. Trying to appeal to, oh no, this game should be there because some women like it. It's irrelevant.
No, this is about the men. It's about taking away what men like seeing.
Yeah.
Like, should be outraged at that. Get the audience riled up at that. We need the pro-male versions of all these right wings are doing, and these right wingers need to disappear because they just ruin any potential pushback. So pro-male artists.
If any guy right there that shares our views and has any talent or any hobby, this is an invitation for them to
make pro-male art, pro-male games, pro-male amateur movies, pro-male review channels, whatever.
Yeah.
So we need more of that.
Especially the two things in particular, because as someone who's also working on a game, I swear that's an undertaking, right? But for most people, I think these two might be something people need to seriously look at as a milestone almost, which is people who review media, whatever media of their choice, and people who do let's plays with each other. I think those two things can breathe some fun and life into the PMC sphere, and they're easier to do as a start, and they could also learn some things in general that would help the rest of the PMC if they were to pursue slightly more difficult, spaces or cultures to explore.
It's better than just ranting and complaining about the newest feminist injustice, which happens 1,000 times over from all people who come in. So I think we're just repeating ourselves now. So you want to sign out?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So this is Pro-Male Collective Podcast, episode 4. Right. Thank you for talking about the game with us. All right.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah.
Over and out.